Hi everybody, this is Chris with Laurel City Historical Fencing, and today I want to release a very special video for all of you. This is something we've been working on here in Laurel City Fencing for quite a while, really researching, digging in deep to some of this stuff that I feel like a lot of people have sort of misinterpreted, and that is the concept of Fühlen, feeling, at least what some people call it. Now, I think the issue is a lot of the modern translators fall into the context of a false cognate, because Fühlen sort of sounds like feeling, but I've dug into this a little bit more using the Nuremberg Housebook as well as the Malleus Maleficarum and the very special translation of the Vonich manuscript, and I found that the concept of Fühlen is closer to what the Japanese would call ki or the Chinese would call qi. Now, instead of just a feeling, it's that inner energy, and used properly in a fight, it can be welled up from deep inside you and used to make your strikes, your thrusts, your anything much more powerful. So let's take a look at an example of this. Now you see, once we come into the bind, I'm able to use my Fühlen, that inner energy, to blow through Rob's guard and just knock him right off his feet. Now, this is one example. There's plenty more. I just want to give a little quick disclaimer that this is not something that you should try to do at home. You know, don't try this at home like you see on, any sort of TV show with stunts or anything. This is very dangerous. My students have trained explicitly for dealing with this. So, please, if you're going to try this, come train with an expert first, and then maybe try these things out. Try out using your Fühlen against somebody. So let's look at a few more examples.
3, 2, 1, action. 1, action. 1, action. 2, 1, action.
Now, as you can see, I've personally clearly mastered this, and I can take an opponent off his feet without even touching him. And this is, again, because my students have trained in order to not die when you do such a violent act of Fühlen against them. But that's something that you want to be careful of. And I know the naysayers out there say, oh, why don't you use this in a tournament? It's because it's too lethal. Too lethal. I cannot condone anyone using this in anything other than a self-defense scenario or a judicial duel or something where you're really having to fight for your life, because you could very easily maim somebody, you could paralyze somebody. I mean, like when you talk about some of the Chinese stuff in the dim mak, this is tapping into the same thing but using a long sword or a poleaxe or a dagger, so it's like uber dim mak. So be very, very careful with any of this. Also, as a note, I am available for private lessons in this mystical art of Fühlen for a minimum of $200 an hour for a person. We can have group rates if you need it. But I just want to say thank you everyone for watching. Have a great April Fools, and we'll see you next week. I have a kitty here with me. Kitty. Meow.